So I hear so many women out there that has went through or is still going through trauma from their mothers. And this is a big topic. And we need to really try to figure out how can we heal from that trauma. Hello everyone, I am Royal Goddess. You can call me Goddess if you like. And I'm starting a little series called Let's Talk. Let's Talk. Give it some advice, talk about some topics that need to be addressed, but let's get into it. So I have met so many women that have had this struggle with their mothers and still having this struggle with their mothers, and I feel like, we need to really address it and speak about it and heal from it. I have been went through, and it still is healing from trauma from my mother. And if you plan on having children, or if you have children, or you have a daughter and you do not want to pass that down to them, and then it's time to heal, sweetheart. Let's heal from it. So it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I started my spiritual journey, my healing journey. And I'm going to tell you what led to that. So coming from a traumatic background, I didn't realize that I was behaving like my mom. Not to an extent, but there were traits there. And I was behaving this way with my daughter. My husband peeped it and he was like, "Hey, you're acting like your mom." Let me tell you, that woke me the fuck up. That woke me up. I said, shit, I need to start making some changes. It's time to start taking accountability, because I don't want that. Because I knew what I went through, and that's not cool at all. So it was time for me to make a change. So I did. I started doing some self-reflection. I started taking accountability. I started writing down, what do I need to work on? What, the whys, all of it, how? And so we could come up with a solution so I could be better. Better for my children, better for my daughter, better for my husband. So if you are struggling right now with trying to break free from that hold from your mom, or you just need any guidance or advice, let's get to work, okay? I'm here. I understand. I understand. Healing from trauma relating to your mother is very complex, and it is a profound journey to go through. So this is what I did to help me heal from it. I'm not saying I'm all the way healed. I'm still probably healing. Still have a little bit triggers, but this is the steps I took, and I'm gonna give it to y'all. So the first step is to acknowledge your trauma. Come to the realization and recognize that trauma is there. You did go through it. Acknowledge it. You're going to feel those feelings. You're going to feel those emotions, but you have to come to terms with, yeah, I went through that shit. It did happen. If you can afford it, seek therapy. Some people could pay through their insurance. If not, sure, you're going to have to do what I did, because I couldn't afford it at the time. So I had to do it myself. And it is advisable to see a therapist, because they give you a different outlook and a different viewpoint on and exercises on what you can do to heal from that trauma. I didn't do that, so bear with me. So there's a lot of mothers, I have to say this, there's a lot of mothers that don't even realize or recognize what they're doing to their children and to their daughters. And I did not see it at first, because you know how you have that trauma passed down to you unintentionally and subconsciously. You're used to it, and then you start behaving that way. It could take somebody to make you aware of it, or you could come aware of it yourself. However, it took my husband to make me aware of it, and it woke me up. So if you're watching this, I want all my mothers out there to really do some self-reflection and I really want you guys to start taking accountability, especially my Black mothers, because I can't speak for no other race but my people. So I need us to start taking accountability as women, as Black women, and understand that we can still pass down that trauma. We still have trauma from slavery that's passed down. Why would we not have this? You know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to be more mindful of what you are speaking into your children and what you're telling them and how you listen to them. It's time to start taking accountabilities, ladies. So if you're one of those women like, oh, I don't do nothing wrong, you don't want to take accountability. Here's some things that I went through that really affected me. As far as my communication, when I tried to go and talk to my mom and express my feelings, it was like, oh, you're a drama queen. Oh, you're just exaggerating. Are you doing that? Second thing, the name calling. Calling your daughter bitches. That is not cool. That is uncalled for. You're supposed to be lifting your daughter up, not bringing her down. Calling her bitches and this and that, and not cool. That is a form of psychological abuse, emotional abuse. It's not cool. Second thing, physical abuse. Physical abuse. See, we have the whole slavery thing with whooping our kids, and we pass that down, and then we think it's cool, but it's really not. Like, learn how to communicate. Learn how to improve your emotional intelligence so you can handle your emotions better, so your children can. We have to understand we're leading by example here. We're setting it. So what are we doing? As a result of those reflections, I grew up not able to really communicate. I held everything in. I did not pass down the physical or the mental or emotional down, but it was little traits there that I did started passing down to my daughter or my children, period. So on the steps, we're going to acknowledge it. The second step, we're going to have to start taking accountability. The third step, I would say, start practicing self-care, because we're going to have to try to love ourselves again, because we weren't loved. We didn't receive that love, so we're going to have to give it to ourselves at this point. So practice self-care. And self-care can include anything that makes you feel good, that makes you happy. Like me, meditation makes me happy. Painting, walks in nature, grounding, sun gazing, spiritual bath. That is my self-care. Also reading, my therapy with my plants. That's a part of self-care. So whatever that could be an emotional attachment to you that makes you feel joyful and happy, that could be your self-care routine. Next one is surround yourself with people that validate you and support you, your loved ones. Surround yourself with great people. Have a tight knit circle that loves and supports you. That will help tremendously. So this is the one that's going to be hard, but you have to practice forgiveness. So you're going to have to forgive yourself, because I know you blame yourself for a lot of stuff, and if you have trickled down that trauma to your children, you're going to have to practice forgiveness. I had to do it, but it's going to help. So you're going to forgive yourself, and then you're going to have to forgive your mom. Like, you're going to have to forgive her. So what I became aware of is that my mom has went through so much trauma. She has been through a lot in her life with her mom, and her mom has been through a lot with her mom. So it's a generational curse that has been passed down, and I'm not making excuses for it, but they did not seek out therapy. They didn't have all these resources that we have right now. And I genuinely feel for my mom. So what I did, I wrote her a letter. I wrote her a letter forgiving her. Here's an important one: setting boundaries. Set boundaries with your mom so you can protect yourself emotionally. This may involve limited contact, saying no when necessary, or just cutting off completely. The last step, I really want you guys to focus on practicing self-compassion. Have compassion for yourself. Be gentle with yourself. It's okay. We're going to get through this. It was hard. It was difficult, but guess what? It's up to you to make that change. It's up to you to do better, to set that example for your peers and for your children. Like, it's up to you. And remember that healing is a journey. It's a journey. It's an individual journey. Everybody's journey is not going to be the same. And And it's okay to ask for help. And if you need to talk further, you can always hit me up in my inbox. I will be providing self-love coaching soon. So I'm here for you guys. Let's heal together, okay, guys? Let's love each other, love ourselves, know our value, our worth. Peace.